Jules, was he or wasn't he at the stadium on Sunday? What's the latest you've got for us?
That's the big question. Everybody was looking for him. Is he there? Is he not there? We knew he was not in the squad, in the matchday squad. That was for sure. He has a box, obviously, at the Tottenham Stadium as well. There were rumours that he was there on English television, for example. Mentioned that maybe he was somewhere there, but no one saw him. No one took a photo of him. So that will stay a mystery.
It's an odd situation, isn't it, Craig? We obviously know that City are in for him. Spurs are not saying too much. And then people are questioning whether he's actually there for the first game or not, whether he's injured, whether he's fit to play.
Yeah, and it's not ideal for... And this is what transfer windows and transfer deadlines do. And I'm a great believer, and I know it's difficult, but I'm a great believer this should all be done and dusted before the opening day. If they could sync the opening day of seasons around Europe, for example, at least they could curtail the European transfers. That's another story. The bottom line is he should have been at the game, but I'm sure if he was, a camera would have found him. So I presume he wasn't there. But that's the side story. The story is here, for those that watched the game, City were poor. Once again, they have a gaping hole through the middle. They're desperate for a front man, even though they won the league without one last year. And Tottenham are holding all the cards because he's Tottenham's player, he's under contract, and Daniel Levy, we know, likes to play hard ball right to the end. So I think this deal will happen, but I think Tottenham are going to absolutely screw every last penny out of Manchester City that they can.
But if they won the league without him last year, why do they need him this year?
Well, because I think they won it last year because they adapted without him. Aguero was there at times, Jesus was there at times, but I think to do that on a regular basis is difficult. That's the reason that we have the likes of Karim Benzema at Real Madrid. That's why we have the likes of Lewandowski at Bayern Munich, because it's difficult to replicate that season after season. You can maybe get away with it once, maybe twice, but there's a reason that these natural 30-goal-plus seasons are worth their weight in gold, because clubs still need them.
You're asking a lot of a midfield who were outstanding last season. Whether you can get the same goal-scoring tune out of the likes of Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, who had his injury issues. You're asking a lot from a midfield to carry this team to another title, and the Champions League still continues to be Manchester City's holy grail. As we sit right now, certainly what we saw, and albeit the season's only 90 minutes old, I'm with everybody on this one. I don't think City are good enough to do that on both fronts. To Craig's point, though, and Daniel Levy playing hardball up until the last minute, you wonder how does that best serve Spurs? To play hardball with Harry Kane up until the transfer window is all but shut, leaving yourself no time to find a replacement, no time to really find somebody to fill the gap that Harry Kane then leaves. So you end up kind of being stuck. Do you keep Harry Kane, a disgruntled Harry Kane? Do you go without an out-and-out striker yourself? It's a weird game of chicken, almost, that Daniel Levy seems to be playing with Man City and Harry Kane.
This is very negative. Tottenham were great yesterday.
They were.
They were.
I mean, you know, and this is the big story, but, you know, he wrung every last ounce out of that team. And Heung-min Son did a great job through the middle. Lucas Moura did a great job, as always, working his socks off. You know, Tanganga was excellent. The midfield was solid. I mean, Dele Alli got a game last year. So things could change there. And I wonder whether Daniel Levy is concerned about losing Kane and leaving Nuno Espirito Santo with a man down. I think to him, at short term, the money is more... Getting the right fee is more important, and then I think he'll say to his manager, right, this is the way we did it, now you're going to have to go and deal with it.
But doesn't that suggest that he should do it sooner so that they can get the right replacement?
Yeah, but he's not going to do it sooner until he gets the deal that he wants. Exactly. He's a hard-nosed businessman. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to, if it's another $5 million, he's going to wait.
Yeah. If he doesn't leave himself enough time, though, before the window closes?
The catch-22 for that is, now Daniel Levy, being a businessman and not necessarily a football man, says, well, we beat Man City without Harry Kane and without a striker, and maybe we don't need to go and spend 100 million of the 150 odd or whatever it eventually brings in. And that's the challenge. You play well when you get a result like this. the businessman says, well, maybe we could keep going for another 37 games this season, and it'll all work out.
Sorry, what was you meaning when there's not enough time?
I'm just saying, like, is it not better to, if you've got targets that you do want to bring in with the money that Kane's going to bring you, don't you want to get them in
what Daniel
before
Levy's
the season
target
starts?
You know what Daniel Levy's target is? To get the most money for his club that he can. He won't be the first chairman to leave a manager hanging on a transfer deadline day. So, I mean, it's not ideal, but I think that's the way Tottenham are going to try and drive this. They're going to feed on Manchester City's desperation, and they've already showed their hand. They want him badly. And I'm sure they're prepared to pay the money. Levy knows this. And I'm afraid the Tottenham manager probably knows he could come unstuck with a man down come the end of the deadline.
Let's talk about how he would be replaced, though, Jules. Is there anybody that they've got their eye on at Spurs?
I think they're searching already. We know they have a new sporting director in Fabio Paratici, who's just arrived from Juventus. And funnily enough, or maybe coincidence or not, but some of the names that we know that they're following are from Serie A. Lautaro Martinez is one of them, although we saw his agent again today saying he will stay at Inter, but Romelu Lukaku also said that he was going to stay at Inter, and he's not an Inter player anymore. Same with Vlahovic at Fiorentina, who we know will be expensive, but also we know that he's young, he's got plenty of talent, he had a great season last year in Serie A, and maybe this is the right time for a club like Spurs, if Kane leaves, to go and get someone like Vlahovic, who's a different profile, but has some similarities with Kane's game too. So there's a lot of things they can do. And you also wonder if the 50 million, for example, they spend on Christian Romero, the centre-back from Atalanta and Argentina, is maybe some of that money was already anticipating the Kane money, a bit like what Villa did with Buendia before Grealish deal was done. So I think they will be getting ready. They know that the offer is coming from City, and our colleague Rob Dawson in Manchester is reporting it tonight on the ESPN website. So we know it's coming. And then I think the negotiation will start. But I agree with Craig. I think eventually this deal will happen. But I'm with you too. I think, yeah, of course, the sooner the better, because then you have more time to spend the money on the players that you want. But also, Craig's point is right. Daniel Levy wants as much money as he can, and he knows that he's in a very strong position too.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.